Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about natural approaches to help with anxiety and even to get at the real underlying cause of it, to get rid of it for good. Hi, I'm Hession, medical intuitive and an energy healing practitioner. And today we're talking about anxiety, some natural ways to help manage it. But even more important, I'm going to introduce the idea of not just managing it, but finding and releasing the underlying causes of it. Sometimes in the moment we need a bandage, but fundamentally how much better if we can heal the wound, right? So first, I just want to say that anxiety is a perfectly natural, normal human emotion, and everyone has experienced it. After all, being a human being is what I call a package deal, right? None of us came into our lives and had the option of saying, let's see, I'll take courage and happiness and love and hope and joy. And yeah, I'm just going to take a pass on feeling petty and jealous and anxious and shameful, right? None of us had that choice. We all came in with the ability to feel all of it. So first, let's make a distinction between the emotion of anxiety, which everyone may feel now and then, and something more serious like an anxiety disorder. So anxiety itself is a normal reaction to stress, and it can be helpful. It activates our sympathetic nervous system, which heightens our awareness of what's going on around us that may be a threat and can help us pay attention and prepare to deal with the situation. Nothing wrong with that. But an anxiety disorder is this taken to an extreme, where the feelings of fear, alarm, anxiety are excessive. They're beyond what the situation actually merits. And someone would be likely to get a diagnosis of an anxiety disorder based on two factors. One is that the level of anxiety they're feeling on a regular basis is excessive and out of proportion to the situation, and or it's age inappropriate, like an adult reacting like a young child, for example. And it interferes with your ability to function normally, to handle the daily tasks of living and working, for example. Estimates vary, but it may be as many as 18% of Americans are affected by anxiety disorders of one sort or another. Now, I know you're here watching this video because you're interested in natural ways to help anxiety. And that, combined with the fact that I am not a psychiatrist, means that I'm not going to be talking with you about medications for anxiety, other than to say this: there is a time and a place for everything. And if your anxiety is severe, considering medication should not be something that you reject out of hand or feel like it's a failure to do that or anything like that. Find a doctor you really trust to work with you and explore your options. For now, though, I'm going to talk about some other options to help address anxiety. Some of them are so simple, you might think it just can't be that easy. But these things really make a difference. So one is spending time outside every day. It's so important. As little as 15 minutes of natural sunlight can make a big difference. Natural sunlight will increase your levels of vitamin D, which will naturally lower anxiety and depression. And be out in nature as much as possible. A walk through the trees will do more for you than a walk in an urban area, although any outside time is better than none. Speaking of walks, of course, exercise is one of the best things you can do to decrease anxiety. It oxygenates your blood and therefore all your cells in your body. It causes your body to release endorphins, and that will automatically help you feel better in just minutes. There's also a number of nutritional factors, which I'll go into in just a minute. But more generally, when it comes to eating, if you go too long without eating, your blood sugar will drop. That will happen to anybody, and that can absolutely spike anxiety for you. So making sure you eat regularly throughout the day is important for a lot of reasons. In terms of what you put in your body, here's a list of things that are recommended to help calm anxiety, as well as some that are probably better for you to avoid. So what's recommended is foods high in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, avocado, walnuts, flaxseed, spinach, mackerel, scallops, tofu. Also foods containing probiotics, which are the healthy bacteria we want in our gut. Probiotics can be taken as supplements and are also found in good quality yogurts, in kefir, sauerkraut, and kimchi, tempeh, and kombucha. Water. Drinking plenty of good quality water throughout the day is essential for our overall health as well as for anxiety in particular. And I do recommend investing in a good quality water filter for your home rather than relying on bottled or tap water. So foods high in magnesium are recommended. Magnesium can actually act at the blood-brain barrier to block stress hormones from reaching your brain. Eggs, spinach, Swiss chard, and nuts and legumes in general are high in magnesium. Foods that are high in tryptophan can help us as well. Tryptophan is an amino acid your body needs to produce serotonin. And serotonin makes you happy and helps regulate your sleep and your mood. So foods high in tryptophan include turkey and other meats, nuts, seeds, beans, and eggs. B vitamins can also help to boost our mood and dispel anxiety. They're important for the health of our nervous system. And some foods high in B complex vitamins are liver, sardines, mackerel, salmon, lamb, nutritional yeast, also referred to as brewer's yeast, feta cheese, cottage cheese, and again, eggs. Pretty much make sure you're eating eggs. Herbal teas like chamomile and kava kava, those can be great as well. And that brings us to some of the things that are recommended to avoid. You're dealing with excessive anxiety, and number one on the list is, you guessed it, caffeine. So caffeine may feel good in some ways, but that's because it stimulates your nervous system, increases your heart rate and your blood pressure and your body temperature. It can actually cause panic attacks in people who have an anxiety disorder. So consider gradually moving to maybe herbal teas, or at the very least decaf, and see what may happen. Alcohol is something also to be avoided, at least in any kind of excess. Those suffering from severe anxiety are definitely more at risk to develop alcohol dependence as well. And of course, highly processed, high sugar, high fat, and or high unhealthy fat foods are not helping. Between spiking your blood sugar levels, stressing your digestive system, and flooding your body with chemical additives, preservatives, colorings, etc., they're really the last thing you want to be putting in your body anyway, and much less if you're struggling with anxiety. They're only going to bring you down. So those are some of the things that you and I and anyone can shift and change in our lives to help us manage anxiety better when it comes up. But if you're having excessive anxiety in your life, the real question is, at least what I think is the most interesting question, is why? What's the actual underlying cause of that happening ongoingly in your life? I mean, it's a good thing anyway to be exercising more and getting outside more and eating more healthily and keeping hydrated. That's all good, and let's do that. And it will help manage excessive anxiety, but what if we could also eliminate what's causing it? So what's causing it? In my experience as a medical intuitive and energy healer, the single biggest underlying cause of excess anxiety is trapped emotional baggage from the past that's still present, stuck in our bodies as an energy imbalance. Everyone has these. You, me, everyone. And these stuck, trapped emotional energies are affecting our health and causing us to repeat negative patterns and behaviors, directly causing that experience of feeling anxiety that's out of proportion to the situation we're in. That's because we aren't actually having that anxiety and alarm and fear in response to the situation that's happening right now. We're reacting instead to that past trauma or past intense emotion. And that's overriding our ability to just be in the moment and experience what's happening now. Now, you may want to watch my What is Emotional Baggage video to learn more. But in a nutshell, these trapped emotional energies most commonly take the form of these little kind of balls of energy that are resonating at a certain emotional frequency, like fear or grief or abandonment. And they're stuck in different parts of our bodies, creating imbalances in our bodies and in our emotions. When we identify and clear these trapped emotions, amazing things start to happen. People start to experience freedom from the past traumas that they've been carrying around with them, sometimes for decades. Those out of proportion emotional reactions begin to disappear, and bottom line, you really get your life back. Now, in my next video, I'm going to talk in more detail about how energy healing can quickly and permanently find and clear away these trapped emotions and other energy imbalances from our bodies and our lives. So go ahead, eat those eggs and the spinach, drink the water, for sure, go for a walk in the woods. And if you also want to find out more about how to be free of that trapped emotional baggage, watch the next video on energy healing for anxiety when you come back. So I hope that was helpful. I've got lots more great information for you. So subscribe to the channel, leave me some comments, and let me know how I can help.